Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving into something that is honestly a bit of a universal, maybe slightly existential mystery. You know the feeling, right? When we're kids, a single summer stretches on forever. It feels like a whole lifetime. But as adults, wow, entire years just seem to vanish in the blink of an eye. Today we're going to break down the actual science of why time flies as we age, and more importantly, how you can actually take control of it.
Have you ever wondered why life feels like someone just keeps pressing the fast forward button? Seriously, think about it for a second. You celebrate New Year's Eve, you blink, and bam, suddenly you're buying holiday gifts all over again. It's wild, but it's also incredibly validating to know you aren't imagining this. You are definitely not alone. Pretty much every adult on the planet reports this exact same feeling of time just slipping away on hyperspeed.
But here is the strange part. Time itself hasn't changed at all. A minute is still exactly 60 seconds, a day is still 24 hours, the Earth is spinning at the exact same pace it always has. So it's not the clock on your wall that's broken, it's your perception of it. Your brain has completely changed how it measures and records the passing of time. And once you see exactly how your brain does this, I promise you are never going to experience life quite the same way again.
Which brings us to Section 1, the math of growing older.
Okay, let's dive into this first major concept. There's a very real, very hard mathematical proportionality to how we age, and it perfectly explains why time feels so vastly different depending on your age. Just imagine going all the way back to when you were 5 years old. At that age, one single year makes up a massive 20% of your entire lived experience. That's a huge slice of everything you've ever seen, felt, or known. In that year, you have birthdays, family trips, holidays, and you're learning completely new concepts about the world. And because that year is such a massive fraction of your total existence, your brain processes it as this incredibly long period of time.
But now look at the stark contrast when we jump forward. By the time you hit 50, that exact same duration, 1 year, becomes a mere 2% of your life. Your brain is constantly comparing new time to everything you've already lived through. So, mathematically speaking, every single new year is just a smaller and smaller fraction of your total life. It just gets tossed into this massive collection of memory boxes you've already piled up. Because the fraction is shrinking, the year literally feels smaller and shorter than the last one. But, that math is really only half the story.
Let's move to Section 2, your brain on autopilot.
We're shifting gears from math to neuroscience here, because the second reason time speeds up is entirely about how your brain processes your daily routines. Let me ask you this. Think about your commute to work yesterday. Do you remember every specific detail? The cars you passed, the exact sequence of the traffic lights, the pedestrians on the corner? Probably not, right? That's because your brain switched into autopilot. This is a mental state where your brain saves precious energy by just ignoring repetitive, predictable experiences. But here's the catch. By ignoring those details, it records way fewer memories. Autopilot saves energy, absolutely, but it completely steals your memories. And without new memories anchoring your days, your brain looks back and basically assumes very little time has actually passed.
Just think about a typical, highly repetitive adult routine. Wake up at 7, work by 9, eat at 6, sleep at 10, wash, rinse, repeat. When you repeat that same office routine over and over, your brain simply stops recording the data. It takes hundreds of identical days, where Monday looks like Tuesday and Tuesday feels exactly like Wednesday, and aggressively compresses them together into one tiny gray memory block. Before you even realize it, your brain has fast-forwarded through the entire year simply because it didn't find anything new worth writing down.
So, what do we do about it? Section 3, dopamine and the memory bank.
Don't worry, because we can totally fix this. The secret is uncovering the biological power of novelty. We can use our brain's chemistry to our advantage. Think back to your very first day of school. You probably remember the classroom, the teacher, maybe even the bright colors of your backpack or what you were wearing. Why is that? Because to a kid, everything is new. Novel experiences literally force your brain to pay hyper-focused attention. Childhood feels endless because almost every day is packed with something you've never experienced before. But adulthood? It becomes highly predictable. We end up trading the bright, endless novelty of childhood firsts for the blurry, gray predictability of adult routines.
The crucial piece of the puzzle here is dopamine. Every time you try something new, your brain wakes up. New experiences trigger dopamine, which is basically the brain's motivational chemical. You can think of dopamine as the biological glue for your memory bank. When it floods your neural pathways during a novel experience, it forces your brain to pay really deep attention. And that builds much stronger,
brighter memory crystals. And those stronger memories, they are exactly what make your life feel fuller and longer.
Let's look at a perfect real-world example of this, the vacation effect. Have you ever noticed how a one-week vacation to a totally new place can feel like an entire month just happened? You hit the beach, you hike a new trail, you explore a different city. Vacations feel longer because your brain is actively recording more memories, not because more minutes have actually passed. The clock ticked the exact same number of times, but your brain's memory folders are just overflowing with new data, stretching out your perception of that week. We absolutely have the power to stretch time just by introducing a little novelty.
Which brings us to Section 4, how to slow down time.
This is where we turn all this fascinating neuroscience into actionable mastery. You don't need a time machine to slow things down. The secret is way simpler. Here are 5 practical neuroscience-backed ways to wake your brain up and slow down the clock. Number 1, learn a new skill. Whether it's cooking, photography, coding, or picking up the guitar, every single new skill fires up those neural pathways. Number 2, explore new places. You don't have to fly across the world, just take a walk through a new park or check out a different neighborhood. Number 3, break your daily routines. Take a totally different, colorful route to work instead of the exact same road. Give your brain something unexpected to chew on. Number 4, stay fully present. And number 5, create meaningful memories with the people you love. Have dinner with family, laugh with friends, really celebrate those little things.
I actually want to pause and really emphasize that 4th point, staying fully present. In our modern world, the absolute easiest way to slip right back into autopilot is through our screens. If you really want to slow down time, you have to stop scrolling and start noticing. Put the smartphone in your pocket, look at a beautiful sunset, watch the leaves fall in a park. When you are truly present, time slows down dramatically because you're actively engaged with the real world around you rather than the compressed, endless loop of a digital feed.
Because ultimately, as the brain science shows us, time doesn't actually move faster as you grow older. Your brain just gets way more efficient at packing away the mundane. The more unforgettable moments you intentionally create, the longer your life is going to feel. Remember, life is measured in memories, not minutes, so don't just count your days, make your days count. Get out there, break a routine, and learn something completely new. And ask yourself, when you go to sleep tonight, will your brain have recorded a brand new memory, or did you just fast forward through another day? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.